What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your review for Sisters season 1, episode 12, and they're calling this the mid season finale, whatever. So we start this episode off with Andy in the conference room with where we left off last week with the wife and the private eye. And of course, the wife ends up cussing Andy out. Tells Andy she wants her disbarred. She knows people in high places. Her name will be Mud. Andy was like, and at first, the woman was talking to Andy crazy. Andy was like, look, what you not gonna do? Like, I get it that you mad and all of that, but what you not gonna do? You not gonna disrespect me. That's what you not gonna do. She said, I'm gonna talk to you however I want to talk to you. But the private eye is the one with the level head and is like, look, I think if we can figure out a way to all work together, maybe we can get this, basically we can work together and get this bastard type thing. So then the wife was like, I'm going to get you. I'm going to have you disbarred. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. Andy was like, and that is your right. And I'm gone. And then the private eye was like, no. Come on, let's work this out. So the private eye had convinced the wife to sign a disclosure saying that that Andy had recused herself from day one, which that doesn't help Andy because Andy tried to recuse herself day one and her boss told her she couldn't do it. It's not that Andy didn't try to do the right thing in regards to this situation. She was sort of between a rock and a hard place from the point of view of, if I do the right thing, I'm going to lose my job. If I don't do the right thing, I'm going to be in the situation that I'm in now. So I didn't feel like that really was the answer that Andy needed because it still would have got her fired from her job. I mean, she wouldn't be facing disbarment, but whatever. So Andy was like, all right, cool. So the woman was like, tell me, I want to know everything. So Andy starts telling her love story. The wife was like, nope. What I'm not about to do is sit here and listen to her turn this shit into Love Jones. Like, I don't want to hear all of that. But then Andy starts telling the story. Now, y'all correct me, because I know y'all going to remember in them comments. Y'all let me know. I thought Andy said she met this man at the gym. Am I getting that story mixed up with somebody else? Anyway, she said she met him at the grocery store. She was looking crazy because she had just ran out the house in her bunny slippers and everything because she was trying to get some tea. And then she went back 2 weeks later, dressed to the nines. How she knew he was going to be there 2 weeks later, I don't know. But she went back 2 weeks later, and then, of course, he ran his game with her. And come to find out, he ran the same line on her that he ran on his wife. His wife was like, yeah, he ran that same line on me. But when he ran it on me, he wasn't married. I was like, well, she got a point. So then, she was like, she said, well, it wasn't like I just started sleeping with him. He had to work his way up to it. Then she said that she knew he was married from the beginning. Again, y'all correct me if I'm wrong. I thought she said she didn't know at first. Or no, that was Danny who said she didn't know at first. But then when she found out, she kept sleeping with him. Okay, that was Danny. All right, my bad. Y'all ain't got to tell me. I already corrected myself. So then, the wife was like, you know what? I can't do this. Like, I thought I could do it, but I can't do it. I'm out. So she ends up leaving. And Andy was like, so what does that mean? The private eye was like, that means she wants you disbarred. Like, that mean that... And, I mean, at the end of the day, she has nothing to gain by working with Andy. Like, she can go to another lawyer and get... She has even more of a case by going to another lawyer if she's willing to expose Andy, than she did in the beginning. Because now she can add the fact that she's in a better position. She doesn't need Andy. Andy needs her. So she ends up leaving, and like I said, the PI was like, well, I'm gonna try to get her to work with you, but basically it ain't looking good, bruh. So we go over to Karen's house. Karen and Zach, they having that morning afterglow, honey. Zach that made her breakfast in bed, which really he just went down to the store and got her some egg McMuffins or whatever. But, they have a cute little moment, flirty, blah, blah, blah. And, he tries to get her to stay. She's like, nah, I got to get to work and make this money. You know, I need to pay these bills. And his face cracks. And she was like, you know, I didn't mean it like that. And he was like, no, I get it. I understand. So he ends up going to work. She goes into the bathroom, honey. And he done left his last 3 paychecks taped to the mirror with a little note, you know, basically like, this my money, it's for you, it's for the bills, whatever. And of course, it made her smile and giggle, and it was all good. But again, I have to go back to how he got 3 uncashed paychecks. Because then they were like, well, he only was living with Danny for a week. So how he got 3 uncashed paychecks? Even if they get paid once a week, that means at least he has at least 3 weeks of a paycheck. He ain't even cashed the check. So is he really as broke as y'all say he was? Because let me be clear. I can't go three pay periods without dipping into my paycheck. Now, I have direct deposit. It's automatically in my account. But I promise you, now I know we supposed to all have 6 months worth of pay saved up and all of that. But I got 6 months worth of pay, but not in my checking account. Like, I would have to make some phone calls and move some shit to get it. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So how is this man who was living in a homeless shelter, if he had 3 uncashed paychecks, he couldn't even go stay at an extended stay? He couldn't even get a little extended stay situation going? I just didn't understand that. Anyway, got a little ahead of myself. He runs into Andy. Andy's coming in as he's going out, and he's trying to talk to Andy, and Andy ain't trying to hear because Andy needs to talk to Karen because, you know, her life is about to be over. She about to get disbarred, and some more stuff about to happen to her. And he's, you know, trying to make all these promises. I'm not gonna hurt her again. Andy was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care. I don't care. So he ends up leaving for work. Andy tells, you know, Karen what had just went down. And Karen was like, damn, girl, I'm sorry to hear that. She was like, so what you getting ready to do? She was like, I'm about to go back to work and wait to get fired. Like, it is what it is. But, you know, I can't do anything to stop it at this point. The situation happened. It is what it is. She was like, all right, girl, well, I'm going to call up the girls. We'll meet you at your house. She was like, yeah, because I need my sister circle tonight. I'm like, weren't y'all just in the sister circle the night before? Damn, y'all got a lot of sister circle meetings, which is what Danny says later on, but whatever. So then we go down to the airport, honey. And, Zach told Karen he was going to take her out to dinner. And he told her he was going to take her to the 2-for-1 buffet. But I'm thinking, you got 3 paychecks saved up. You can take her to, like, at least Ruby Tuesdays, right? He borrowing money from Danny because he like, you know, I want to take her out to dinner. Y'all know Danny ain't got no damn money either. And that's what she said. He was like, well, you know you got your weed stash. And it's just that. It is her weed stash. She ends up giving him the money, though. But she lets him know that she does miss him, you know, whatever. I think Danny likes Zach. But I do think that Danny's doing the right thing and not going there with Zach, you know. Sabrina comes down to the airport, honey. Now, look, let me say this to y'all. See, I'm at the point with this show where I'm just going to start pointing out all the shit that don't make sense. Because I can't. I'm not going to keep pretending like it's not there. Here's the thing. Ain't nothing at the airport free. Don't nobody who have friends that work at the airport just go visit their friends on their job, just on GP. Because the minute you pull into the damn parking lot and park your car, you done already spent $20. Don't nobody do that. What they do that at? And there's no airport in America where the parking lot is free. Now, they do have a cell phone parking lot, but you can't leave your car there. They do have like a short-term parking situation. You're still paying $10, $15. So, anyway, Sabrina shows up down to the airport to talk to Danny. And she's going to talk to Danny about the whole situation with the dildo. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it, y'all. I'm not. I think that whole storyline is stupid. I think it is... I really think it's borderline disrespectful. I'm going to be honest with you. Because at this point... There's nobody in the world that if you meet a guy and you have to go through all of these changes, they ain't known each other but 5 minutes. If you have that many concerns and you've been through that many changes with him, then at the end of the day, then he ain't the one, period. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how good he is in bed. I don't care how much you want it to work. He ain't the one. Because regardless of whether this man is gay or bisexual, you clearly have an issue with it either way. So... Because I'm not doing it. So they talked about the dildo, and I'm done with that. I'm just not going to do it. If y'all want to hear more, y'all got to listen to another review. I'm not doing it. So, Karen ends up calling Danny and lets Danny know that, she's apologized and tells her thank you. She was like, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you, and I love you and all of that good stuff. And then she tells them about that they're gonna meet over to Andy's house because she's gonna need them. She's having a rough day or whatever. And that's when Danny sort of jokes around a little bit, like I said before, when she was like, "Damn, like what's really good around here?" But she agrees to come down, and then Sabrina talks to Karen in the car. And again, like I said, part of their conversation was about coming down for the Sister Circle meeting down to Andy's house. And then the other part of the conversation was about old boy with the dildo situation. And I'm not doing that. So, but Karen told, but you know what's funny? Karen had been telling this woman all along, he gay. But this time Karen was like, look, so what? Like, get your freak on. Like, some people like that stuff in the bed. They're just a little freaky. They just do things. They just, they sex is just a little different than ours. Like, it ain't no big deal. Just yeah. So I thought that was interesting that she was the one telling her, stop tripping so hard and just go with the flow kind of thing. So then we see, let's go back to the airport. So Danny's at the airport. It's a couple there, presumed couple there, trying to get the upgrade, and she was saying he don't have enough points for the upgrade, and Andy was like, well, let me go ahead and take care of that. Danny was like, let me go ahead and take care of that for you, and she ends up upgrading him, and she said, your wife, and he was like, oh, that's not my wife, that's my sister. So then he ends up coming back over. And he's, real shy, and he clearly wants to ask her out, but, he's kind of like, hemming and hawing about it. And, actually, this had already happened, y'all. I'm out of order, but it don't matter. It doesn't matter when it happened. It just happened. And he said, well, then his sister came over there trying to help him out. And Danny was like, okay, this is real creepy. Like, how old are you? He was like 35. She was like, you 35 years old and you don't know how to ask a woman out? And he was like, well, I'm new to this, so I'm out of practice. He just got out of jail, okay? The man just got out of jail. He been in jail, and that's going to be the next half of the season with Danny's storyline dealing with the man who got a record. He looked like he white. I don't want to make no assumptions, but I'm pretty certain he's white. But yeah, anytime you got a 35-year-old man talking about he don't know how to ask a woman out and he out of practice, and she talking about something, well, that don't even make sense. He talking about something, it's a long story. And then she was asking him for his address, and she was like, well, I just moved back here, with my sister, I'm new in town. He just got out of jail. Now, I'm sorry, Tyler, to blow up your big storyline. Anyway. Then we see Zach talking to old girl. What's her name? Amanda, Ayana, Attila. I don't know. The chick he had an affair with. And, he's basically letting her know, look, I'm back with my girlfriend. It is what it is. And she hits him with the, but I'm pregnant. And then she tries to hug him, talking about something, I'm scared, this, that, and the other. Danny rolls up on them, and Danny's like, so what's up with this? Like, because of course, Danny, like, you just got back with my girl. I vouched for you. What's all of this going on? And, he tells Danny who it is, and Danny's like, oh, really? Oh, well, what's going on here? And chick automatically jumps to, she's being rude and disrespectful. Now, in the grand scheme of things, and y'all know I don't make no excuses for Danny's ass, but in the grand scheme of things, I don't really feel like Danny was being that disrespectful or that rude. It was clear that this is a woman that knows his girlfriend, because he said, I told her, me and Karen were back together. I told her. So it's clear that this is someone that knows his girlfriend and that he's making sure that there's nothing being misunderstood. So for you to be like, she's being rude and disrespectful. No, she wasn't. She really wasn't. Now, y'all know I'm quick to let Danny have it when Danny needs it, but I ain't seen nothing wrong with how she was carrying that situation. Honey, then she gonna blurt out, well, good, because I'm pregnant. I said, of all the people to tell, Danny was the wrong one. Danny said, damn, bro, you cannot catch a break. She said, I tell you what. She starts taking her key off the key ring. She said, you're going to need this again. Here's the key. She said, you might as well go and give me that $200 back because you don't need that. So, honey, again, that'll be the second half of the season that we're going to have to deal with that whole storyline. Watch that woman ain't pregnant. Let's be clear. I don't believe the woman pregnant, but okay. So, we back down to Andy's apartment. She's a knock at the door. It's the PI. The PI's like, look, I'm here. Old girl is in the car. I convinced her to come and talk to you again. We really need to try to work this out. Andy is like, look, why y'all here? What do you want? Like, either she gonna work with it or not. But at this point, I can't. Like, I can't. I'm not gonna keep doing this. I feel like for somebody who needed them, I'm not saying she should have been kissing their ass, but I think she could have been a little nicer to the PI and to the wife. But that's just me. You were sleeping with her husband. Like, she's not wrong. Her anger's not wrong. She ain't wrong, period. In this whole situation, she's not wrong. So I didn't understand why. Even last week, I was telling y'all, like, Andy just was real, like, I don't know. Andy act like she ain't do nothing wrong and like she got the high ground. You have none of the high ground in this situation on a professional level or a personal level. Because the wife don't know that your boss basically gave you an ultimatum. From the wife's point of view, you voluntarily allowed yourself to become my lawyer so you could screw me. Like, I understand where the wife is coming from because that's how I would be thinking. Then the PI ends up flirting with Andy. Andy was like, so are you gay? She was like, yeah. She said, well, I'm not. I just felt like that was an unnecessary dialogue. I mean, unnecessary dialogue. Then, there's a knock at the door. Who is it? Gary, right? So, of course, now she ready to confront Gary. She tells the PI, go get the package out the car, which is code for go get the wife. So while she leaves to go get the package out the car, she confronts Gary with the pictures and stuff. And Gary is like, what? What are you talking about? What is going on here? And they get to, he's getting ready to start trying to explain himself. And then here come the wife showing up. The wife, because he was like, it's not what you think it is. And she was like, well, what is it then, Gary? Honey, Tyler, you done flipped the script. Now, I ain't gonna lie. On this one, you got me, Tyler. You done flipped the script on everybody on this one. Because you got me on this one, Tyler. Come to find out, the wife has really kind of been manipulating the situation. He said, she said, Andy was like, well, prove it, to me, because, they got to arguing and shit. And Andy was like, well, prove it to me. You're going to give her all of your money. You're going to give her this. You're going to give her that. You're going to give her that. He was like, all right. Andy's face was like, what? All right. He said, look, she can have all of that as long as I can have you. And so now the wife was like, what? He said, look, I told you I don't want to be with you. She said, you never even gave our relationship a chance. He said, we've been in counseling for 3 years. I said, wait a minute. He has been telling the truth. Because that don't really happen. So then she says, well, what about the women in this picture? Because now the PI, well, what about this picture? What about that picture? He looked at the picture. He said, that's her sister. She knows who that is in the picture. Because she lied to me and said that there was an emergency in Arizona. I got to Arizona and it was nothing wrong. It was all a setup. It was all a ploy. I said, now again, this don't negate the fact that the woman was sleeping with the woman's husband. However, Gary wasn't lying. And then Gary go turn to Andy and say, if this is what's been bothering you, all you had to do was talk to me. But I'm like, nah, Gary, nah, you can't, again, you don't get the high ground either, because from her vantage point, I understand, you was trying to get her to throw the case in your favor and all that other stuff. You've been making some crazy moves too, Gary. You don't have no high ground in this either. And then, all of that, he's abusive and he's this and he's that. I'm like, nah, because Andy smushed him. She refused to move out his way. And he told the PI, he was like, can you please get her out the way? Because I got to go and I'm not. My thing was, if he was so abusive, I mean, he had a couple of opportunities to knock both of y'all asses out. You know what I'm saying? So, baby, then he walked out on Andy. Now Andy really don't know what to do. And then the wife realizes that he really does love this woman. So any chance that Andy had of the wife working with her is out the window. And she was like, oh no, I don't want half his money. I want all of his money. And you're getting disbarred. I said, well, now we need one of them Tyler Perry crazy ass stories where she go out and get hit by a car and be in a coma for a whole season, and then he get the divorce while she in a coma. I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know how Andy gonna get out of this one, because she almost had her. She just had her sign that damn paper. Last but not least, we get down to the salon. Karen shows up. She done took a long lunch. Now look, Karen owns the salon, right? Why her receptionist talking to her about her money? Talking about you leaving your clients waiting and you know you need the money. Bitch, what? You don't get to discuss my finances? What? Then, who's the damn client? The preacher's wife. Looking crazy. Look, she was looking crazy. Talking about, please do my hair. Please stop seeing my husband. He won't take me back. Karen was like, look, that's between you and him. I don't date preachers. I ain't dating your husband. I ain't trying to get with your husband. Please, like, y'all go work that out. This don't have nothing to do with me. And please don't come back. So she puts her out. She goes to reach for her bag and she shoots herself. And that's where it ends. I can't. Now that... Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.